Hey guys, it's Gameface here and welcome back to episode 11 of my Sunderland career mode. Now in today's episode, we've got some games to play, but we're also in the January transfer window as well, so we're potentially going to be making some signings. But to be able to do that, we have to sell some players ultimately before that, because look at the amount of money we have. 21 grand and £5 on the wage budget. So we're going to have to look to get rid of some players if we want to sign some, and we'll wait and see whether we're able to do that in today's episode. Before we get into things though, I just want to say thank you so much, because yesterday we hit 8,500 subscribers on the channel on my birthday, so thank you very much. As a little present from you guys for helping me hit 8,500 subscribers. Thank you very much for doing that, and yeah, I really do appreciate all the support. And yeah, let's crack on with today's episode. If we could try and hit 100 likes on today's episode, I would really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Let's crack on with today's video. First of all, we're going to go and look at some player drills and try and get our players going up if we can. We're going to go with the exact same 5 drills here. Try and get them going up. Obviously, the main focus I saw around Wilson here. Wilson currently still in the youth academy, but once we have enough money, we should be able to promote him, and he seems to be doing pretty well for us at the moment. Not much progress this week, just a few of the stats going up, but nothing too drastic. And we will take a look at the team and see what sort of players could potentially leave us. But first of all, we are going to be taking a look at this transfer offer that we've received for Jordan Pickford, and it is from RP Leipzig. Now, it's £23.5 million. And the one that we got from Leicester City in the last episode was £27.5 million. Now, I did kind of ask you guys what you thought about this deal. It was very, very split. Some people said don't sell him for any less than £30 million. Some people saying 35 million. Some people said don't get rid of him at all, keep him. And yeah, it was very split. So it's difficult to know exactly what to do. We have to raise some money in order to be able to sign any players, if we want to try and sign players. But I'm not too sure I'm happy to get rid of Pickford. It does say he's unhappy, but ultimately if he wants to leave, it has to be on my terms. It has to be for the amount of money which I'm wanting for him. And the price tag I'm going to put on John Pickford is £35 million. If someone wants to come in and pay £35 million, he can leave and we'll try and replace him. Don't want to do that ideally, but that's obviously he's unhappy, he wants to leave potentially, as he is unhappy. So if someone is willing to pay that amount, he can go for that amount. I think we did a similar sort of counter offer in the last episode of 35 million for Leicester, and they came back with 27.5. But we'll do it again, see what they come back and say. Because like I say, that is the price tag that I'm putting on him at the moment. Because he's a good young English player, so I think that is the amount that he's worth to me. Another transfer offer in, again for Pickford. He's definitely wanted in the January transfer window. Let's just see what team's willing to pay 35 million. I think one of these teams will match it, I really do. If the initial bids are coming in of 21 from teams like Borussia Mönchengladbach, and I think teams are going to want to stretch a little bit more in order to try and sign him. So we'll wait and see what happens with that deal. But yeah, we do have some interesting games coming up in today's episode. We might actually sim this one at Stoke. It was suggested, and it has been suggested. Okay, I'll just see what's happened here. I'll continue what I was saying. It has been suggested to sim matches, just to try and add to the realism and get more realistic results, that sort of thing. So we might start to do that occasionally, but it certainly won't be every episode, I would have thought. But looking at this email, Leicester have matched the £35 million. Okay, it looks like he's on the way out here, so we're going to have to find a replacement for him. There was a few suggestions actually for replacements for Pickford. I wasn't really anticipating selling him straight away in today's episode, but I certainly didn't expect Leicester to match it. And RP Leipzig has said £33 million. It's like, what's the point? Just go the extra £2 million. But yeah, it does seem like he could be going to Leicester. I've got to sort out another deal now, obviously, but yeah, we need him to leave pretty quickly, otherwise we're not going to have him for the Stoke game, or we're not going to have a decent enough goalkeeper for the Stoke game. We'll just be left with Minone. Borussia Mönchengladbach can't stretch that far, so they're completely out of this deal. We will just reject that one outright, and we will focus on trying to get him to Leicester, which again isn't ideal. Would have been nice to have sent him to a different league, and I think maybe RP Leipzig could challenge them here, but it's unlikely with the time that we've got left in order for them to secure the deal. So I think it looks like he could be going to Leicester if he can agree terms. He's gone. I think he's gone here. Yeah, we've got £30 million added to our transfer budget for Jordan Pickford. I think it's a good amount. I think it's a good amount of money to now have and to be able to bring in pre-contract agreements, but also to be able to sign a player permanently to come in and play goalkeeper. Because obviously we've got Minone that can play for this game against Stoke. That's not too bad. But in the long term, we need somebody else to come in. It's a shame to get rid of him, but I think he'll leave in real life as well in the summer. So, you know, there's realism in that sense, but also we needed the money. £30 million will help us massively, I think, in this team. Got a scout report coming back for a striker that I was looking at, because I've not been too happy with my alternative options in the squad. I don't think this guy would add a lot of quality, to be honest, in the team. Another transfer offer in, and it's for Donald Love, a player that I think I've transfer listed. Shrewsbury want him, and that kind of tells you what sort of level he's at with our squad, and the reason why I want to try and get rid of him. A 22-year-old that is wanted by Shrewsbury. So we're going to ask for what he's worth and see whether they match up. Okay, so we're going to take a look at a few different goalkeepers now, obviously to try and replace Jordan Pickford. The first of which is going to be Fraser Forster. Now, I'm not going to go for somebody that's as young as Pickford and it's going to be as high potential. I am going for, I say it's a long-term replacement, but a couple of seasons is all they need to be here for, really. Fraser Forster kind of fits the bill, I think. We are going to scout him, see how much he's worth as well, because I'm not too sure about that. We are going to look for an English goalkeeper again, though, to replace Pickford. So we're going to try and see what sort of other options are out there. Tom Heaton's another option. Again, I'm not too sure what overall he is, and he is a little bit cheaper, 30 years old as well. So we will wait and see exactly what comes back at that one. An £8 million bid, I think, to begin with, which does seem a lot for a 30-year-old goalkeeper, but we'll, again, wait and see what overall it comes back as. And we also need to take a look at some pre-contract agreements, I think, as well, to improve our squad going into next season. Okay, so moving on to pre-contract agreements, I think I'm going to make quite a bold move here. Now, obviously, Yaya Toure is a very, very good player, and yes, he's getting a little bit older, but I'd quite like to sign him to just add a little bit more quality into the Sunderland midfield. And alright, yeah, it's probably a little bit unrealistic, to be honest, but we are, I think, going to put in an offer for him to try and sign him for next season. Bearing in mind, we are second place in the league, so we can offer to try and look at decent players. You know, we are in a good position at the moment. So, 2-year contract we're going to go with. We'll give him 120 grand a week as well. Obviously, a crucial first-team player. And I'd be interested to see how he gets on at Sunderland if he was to join us at the end of the season. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what comes of that one. Again, not 100% sure exactly whether we will go ahead with it or not. But first of all, he has to agree to the deal for us to be able to decide on that. Another player we're going to take a look at is Martin Cesares. And we're going to try and sign him. 29 years old. He wants 70 grand a week. Again, it's quite a lot of money, but we're just going to put in an offer. See what he says. And the reason why I'm going to take a look at him is because we do have quite a few loans at the moment, which obviously expire at the end of the season. And although I'd like to sign them permanently, there's no definite possibility that I will be able to A, afford them, and B, actually be able to sign them. So we'll wait and see what happens come the end of the season. We are going to put in another offer to try and sign someone a pre-contract agreement. This guy is going to be Cesares, and again, I think it'll be a 3-year contract this time round, and it probably will be a crucial first-team player. Again, it's a little bit of a different one. Not 100% going to sign him, but we are just going to put in the offer just to wait and see what he comes back and says. Okay, so I think for now we'll leave the transfer offers. I won't obviously rule out putting more in today's episode, but for now we are just going to try and advance and see what comes back of the offers we put in. First of all, I transfer for him for Jack Rodwell, a player that we've listed and that we are going to look to try and move on in this transfer window. Watford put in a bid, £5.5 million. It's what he's worth, but I think he is worth a little bit more in my eyes. So we are going to ask for 6.5. Hopefully they just decide to up it by £1 million. It will be helpful for us if they could do that. Fraser Forster inquiries, £14.5 million for him. A lot of money. We need to wait, really, ideally we need to wait for his scout report to try and find exactly what overall he is. I think he's around the 66, 67, 68 kind of region. So we will go with an initial bid of about £9.5 million. £5 million less than what we're after. Maybe overpaying still, I think, in my eyes, possibly. Okay, so on to this game now against Stoke City. It's a home match. We're actually going to sim it. I think it's the first game I've actually simmed on this career mode. And we will be playing the other games in today's episode, by the way. Just simming this one, just to see what sort of result we get. It's our strongest possible team in terms of overalls, so that's the reason why those players have been chosen. Our next game is also in a week's time as well, by the way, so plenty of time for recovery. It's 1-1, 35 minutes in. Fry getting the initial goal, Shaqiri equalising. Lenz puts us back in the lead in the second half here. 2-1 up, 30 minutes to go. And can we get ourselves another? We can't. Imbula's equalised 2-2. Quite an exciting game. 10 minutes to go. We are going to skip, and it finishes 2-2. 2 drop points for us there, but a realistic-ish result. So, you know, it has helped us out a little bit in that sense. Tom Heaton inquiry, £10.5 million is what they are after for him. Our bid was, what, 8 million? I think, was it? Something like that. So we'll wait and see what they come back and say to that bit. Also, some more play drills to do. Again, the exact same players. I think we should have more progress this week, but we'll wait and find out here. Wilson goes up to 57 overall. Fantastic news. Osoro getting a little bit closer to 72 there. Desperately trying to get him further up in overall. Osoro. He's done incredible already, though, this season. I think 8 overalls, yeah. So he's done incredible already to get to that sort of level. Need to take him up to sort of the mid-70s, late 70s kind of region to try and make him sort of starter in our team for next season. As you can see, the league table here, we're 4 points in front of Arsenal, who I think must have dropped points in their last match for them not to really... Yeah, they did. They got a draw as well. That's how they didn't manage to recover any points on us. So we are still reigning second, so that didn't do anything massively to the league table, that draw there. Shrewsbury have matched the amount that we've asked for love, and we've got Yaya Toure accepting the pre-contract agreement to join Sunderland. Okay, that's an interesting one. We'll deal with the Burnley one for now. They're asking for £12 million, and we will potentially up that. Didn't they ask for 10.5 initially? Now they're asking for 12? Okay, we'll wait and see. Can we get him for... I don't want to go any higher than £9 million. I think that's a lot of money to pay for a 30-year-old. There's a goalkeeper, by the way. Goalkeepers are usually worth less. Yaya Toure is willing to join us at the end of the season. That's not a deal that you can really turn down, to be honest. Of course, it's not realistic. But, you know, stuff like this does occasionally happen, I suppose, but just not very often. We are also second in the league currently as well, so we are one of the better teams. It could be argued that it's a possibility, but obviously not quite in real life. I think it will leave Man City in real life pretty soon, but I don't know about this signing. I think we're going to have to sign him up. I think it'd really add a lot to our midfield. A bit of strength, a bit of power in there, which we don't really have at the moment, along with obviously a lot of quality. So we are going to do it. Whether it's just him playing for a season or whether it's 2 seasons, it'll be nice to have him at the club. Even if he retires after the first year at our club, then it will be nice to sign him. So we have officially signed Yaya Toure for the new season. Next season, Yaya Toure will be playing in our side. So exciting times ahead. Hopefully you guys think that was a decent deal as well. Again, you know, it kind of it's close to unrealistic. In fact, it is unrealistic, really, but we're going to go ahead with it anyway and try and just build a good team here to try and push on in further seasons. Next transfer offer in is for Fabian Delph, a player that we only signed in summer. Real Sociedad, £8.5 million. I've not actually been that impressed with Fabian Delph, hence why I'm looking for other midfield alternatives, with Jack Rodwell also leaving us as well, potentially. So I actually would be willing to let him go. I know it sounds strange, I only had him a few months, really. But he hasn't impacted in-game enough, and it has to be about impact. I've had Lee Cattermole who's played better, Kirchhoff's played better, Paredes has played better as well, numerous other players, Paddy McNair as well. So I can't really afford to have someone on such a big wage who's worth a decent amount not do anything. I can't really afford to have those sort of players in the team. So we're going to ask for an amount, and I think the amount is going to be £12.5 million. And Cesares has accepted the pre-contract agreement as well to join us, 70 grand a week. And this is an interesting one because he would sign as a centre-back but also as a right-back as well, because obviously Manquillo is going back. We'd like to try and sign him permanently, but it would be quite nice to have another option in there, just in case that deal can't happen. But 70 grand a week is obviously still a lot of money, so we'd have to rearrange the budget and see exactly how much money that would leave us with. So now we're changing around the budget a little. It's actually only taken £2 million off our transfer budget by changing the wage. Again, I feel like we need somebody like him, but I don't want to be adding loads and loads of old players into the side. I know that's obviously what we've done with Yaya. They're 33 years old. He's 29 years old, Cesares. I think we do have quite a youthful team at the moment. I'm reluctant about that one. I think I'm going to leave it for now, just kind of wait and see how I feel about that one. Our main priority has to be a goalkeeper. We've got to try and bring in a better goalkeeper. Obviously, you know, it's not going to be a massively better goalkeeper because Manone is 75 overall. I'm expecting Forster to be maybe 77-ish overall, so it's not going to be a huge increase, but I still think we need someone to be better than Manone in the team. And again, they're wanting £14.5 million. I still think that's a lot of money. We will go £10.5 million though, and keep increasing it. We are kind of delaying things until we get the scout report back. Watford have come back and matched the £6.5 million that we wanted for Jack Rodwell. He seems like he could be leaving to another Premier League club, but £6.5 million isn't too bad, I feel, for Jack Rodwell, who I felt we needed to move on. It also means that potentially we might have to sign another CDM. Obviously, we have Paddy McNair that can come in. We do actually have a lot of CDMs, so no, we won't sign one because we've got Ndong as well, Elena Gibbs, so we've got too many CDMs, so we won't bother signing a replacement for Rodwell. We'll just use that as a way of trying to get some money off our wages, which is one of our targets that we're not meeting anywhere near enough at the moment. Final scout report on Vincent Janssen as well. I don't know if I showed you him before, but he's a player that I've been scouting as a taller option, a bit more of a presence up front for us. Just look at his stats, seeing what he's like. Finishing wise looks pretty decent. Again, I just don't know whether he brings us enough of an aerial threat. Obviously he's 6 foot, but I don't know. I think you've got to have a bit more pace about you if you're 6 foot, and not giving us that much height. yeah, it's a difficult one again with Vincent Janssen because he's not really performed at Spurs, but could he do as a good job at Sunderland? 68 grand a week as well. He's one I'll think about. I'm not too sure about that one just yet. Burnley have accepted that bid for Tom Heaton. £9 million is what they have accepted. 40 grand a week is what they want for him. So not too bad wage-wise, but again, a little bit of a worry about what overall he is exactly. We'll go crucial first-team player, because that is what he'd be, I think, if he was to come in. But I think he might be a 75, 76 overall player. That's my only concern, really, with that one. Got some money there for the FA Cup, which is good. Not that it's that much. And we've got what might well be our final game of today's episode against West Brom. The reason why I say it's the final one is because the game against Tottenham's at the end of January. Obviously, we're quite a few days off the end of January at the moment, so we'll play the West Brom game, do some more transfers, and then probably play the Tottenham game in the next episode. We've got a transfer offer in here for Benny, another player which I'm contemplating getting rid of. He's unhappy. He's not doing that well, really. £4.9 million is nowhere near enough. We're going to ask for £7 million and see what Hoffenheim say to that. I don't think they'll match it. And another bid in for him, West Ham, who are more likely to, I think, match the counter offer. That's why we're going to offer them £7.5 million. If you want to buy a player that's from our team, if you're from our league and want to buy the player, you're going to have to pay a little bit more. That's why we're going to ask for £7.5 million from West Ham. Love has gone to Shrewsbury. Good luck at Shrewsbury, and we'll see how he gets on there. But yeah, we've got a game against West Brom now. We're going to see whether we can get some more deals done before this game. It's going to be tight, though. Tom Heaton, final scout report back on him. Wow. Okay, 79 overall. We're signing him. I think we might actually sign Tom Heaton here. I didn't realise he was that good. Okay, we'll do that. Sadly, though, I don't think the deal has been accepted just yet. We've had a player sold, though, and it's Jack Rodwell, goes to Watford, £4.7 million. He leaves us, and we've got Fraser Forster. The bid for him accepted there, £10.5 million. A lot less than his value, so I'm quite happy about that one. 60 grand a week, though, obviously much more than Fraser Forster. A couple of years younger as well. He'll go for a 3-year contract. Crucial first-team player. I can't imagine he's actually better than Tom Heaton in terms of overall, but again, not really too sure. Real Sociedad coming back and saying they'll pay £9.5 million for Fabian Delph. I think we asked for 12.5, didn't we, originally? So 12 million, I think we'll go with this time. Okay, this is the time I'm going to go with for the game against West Brom now. We're going to play this match. We've got Manone starting in goal. We've got Manquillo playing at right back, Kone, Gilaboggi and Charlie Taylor as my defenders. Charlie Taylor comes in a little bit more physical than Moreno, and obviously West Brom, very, very physical team. Hence why we've got Catamont and Kirchhoff in the middle there. Januzaj on the right-hand side, Lenz on the left-hand side with Kasri just in behind Jermaine Defoe up front. This is the bench I've gone with. Kimpembe on the bench here just because of the lack of physicality there. Paddy McNair and Dong gives us more physical options if we need them, along with Anichebe, Soro and Fry also make up the rest of the bench. So quite a few players missing out there, whether it be because they're just not good enough for this game, or whether because they're potentially leaving like Delph and Benikafobe as well, missing out on this match. But let's wait and see how we get on. The final game in today's episode to be played. Apologies that we're not going to be playing any more games in today's episode, but we've also been focusing on transfers in this one. So yeah, we'll wait on and see how we get on in this game. Hopefully get ourselves 3 points, but it's going to be a tough game because very physical team, West Brom, and we're not so physical really, the players that we have in this side. So trying to give us as many big, strong players in the midfield as possible. We'll wait and see whether it works or not. Here we go, at the Hawthorns for this match. Hopefully going to get ourselves a win. We need to obviously start to pick up some points. We've dropped some points recently, but it kind of has helped us out a little bit. Not get too ahead of the game and not be winning the league sort of thing. So it's not been that bad. But we'll wait and see how we get on in today's episode. Again, after quite a realistic result and performance, that sort of thing. We need to really try and put on a good performance against this West Brom team. Chadley here with a free kick opportunity. He could well score from this one. I wouldn't rule this out from this sort of range. Robson Kanu going to lay it off. Oh, trying to go for the block, just about goes over the bar. Good chance for West Brom and an interesting start to this game. Jermaine Defoe, look for the run. Kasri's in there, can't quite stretch, he was offside anyway. Good start though, it's kind of end-to-end stuff at the moment. Both teams really going for it. Definitely not holding back in this game, which is good. Januzaj inside to Kasri. Jermaine Defoe turns, Lenz by himself. Got a chance to shoot it. Oh, just over the bar. Maybe should be looking to work the goalkeeper a little bit more there, Lenz. Had a lot of free time initially, and the strike's just about gone over the bar. Was going to cause Ben Foster a few issues at first, but sadly in the end doesn't. Yes, well played, Charlie Taylor. Still going, playing it inside here. Kirchhoff looking to Jermaine Defoe. He shoots. Good save by Ben Foster. Really good play. It's initially Charlie Taylor that's won it back off the West Brom player, and charging forward with it. And the pass through to Jermaine Defoe was good. The shot was saved, though, out for a corner. Can we pick someone out here? Kirchhoff would be a nice player to pick out, wouldn't he? Charlie Taylor's also in there, though. Connects with it. It's a goal kick. Kirchhoff out to Januzaj, cutting on his left-hand side. Can he get a good shot away? He has done! Oh! He's done that so many times before earlier on in the season, in particular Januzaj, cutting on the left-hand side and trying to get the near post. I remember a goal very, very similar to that one, and sadly this time it just goes the wrong side of the post. Really, really good strike. We need to try and do that more often, I think, with him. Casri looking for a ball in. Oh, falls for Jermaine Defoe. Can he get it? Oh, good save by Ben Foster again. Fell for us really nicely there, but another corner. Starting to pile on the pressure a little bit more now, but West Brom deal with it fairly well for now. But yeah, really good performance at the moment. It's a little bit of a battle out there, to be honest, against West Brom. They really are very, very strong at times, winning back the ball constantly. But yeah, an interesting battle for us. Hopefully, one that we can end up winning, but for now it remains 0-0. Catamol look to switch it out to Januzaj. It's a fantastic pass. Januzaj causing all sorts of issues in behind. To be fair, Johnny Evans ran us like a buck there, cut inside on Januzaj's left-hand side, and Johnny Evans just read us completely. And we've got Casri here to deliver a corner into the front post, and not really enough behind that one to cause any issues. Let's have a better one into the back post, please. It's more the penalty spot, and not quite one, but the back post it was by Kone. How has he smashed that one wide? Got to be on target there. Half-time, 0-0. It's not really one of those sort of boring 0-0 matches. It's one of those more frustrating 0-0 matches where you probably should have got a goal at least at the moment. But we're going to still keep on going and hopefully find ourselves a goal eventually. West Brom have only really had 1 or 2 chances. They have looked okay at times. They've just not really got at the pitch that much. And I don't know how he's given us a foul and a yellow card for that on Casri. Really strange one. But like I say, we do deserve to be winning this match. We've had 7 shots, I think. Just not enough of them on target. Not enough sort of clinical finishing so far. Okay, so all 3 changes now. Anichebe, McNair and Moreno all to come on. We are going to take off Catamol, Kirchhoff and Jermaine Defoe. So we're going to do something a little bit different. Januzaj is going to play at CDM alongside Paddy McNair. It's a strange one, I know, but I want to try and keep as many of our better players on the pitch as possible. This is the way I'm going to try and do it, with Januzaj playing as a centre mid. Moreno is going to go as a left mid. We're going to try and get crosses in now to Anichebe. It's going to be difficult. West Brom, obviously, a very physical team, very strong in the box, but we're going to try and do it anyway, because at the moment we can't get through them. We're really struggling, because they're getting so many bodies in the way of things, and of course, to be able to try and get in behind them and through the middle of them, you've got to take them side to side as well. We're going to try and do that now with a bit more width. Januzaj making a good run to the left-hand side. Another reason why I've kept him on is to also give us less ability in the centre. Oh, that's a penalty. We'll take that. Moreno gets brought down there by Jakub. I'll continue saying what I was trying to say. But basically, give us less sort of ability and stability in the centre midfield, because if you take out if you put someone in there that's not a centre mid, they're not going to want to play there, and it means that you're not going to have as much going down the centre. They're going to want to play out wide a little bit more, so it essentially forces yourself to play out wide a bit more, which is what we're going to try and do now for the remaining 20 minutes. But we might be able to put ourselves in the lead here by scoring from the penalty, and we have done. Lens there with the penalty, taking Ben Foster the wrong way. As cool as you like. 22 minutes to go here to hold out, but also, I think, continue to play how we're going and try and get ourselves a second goal if we can on the break. Ultimately, West Brom haven't caused us any issues in the second half, or for a long time, to be honest, anyway. 20th minute was probably the last time that they actually had a chance. So for now, we're looking really comfortable. We've got to make sure that lasts. We've got to make sure that we don't end up conceding out of the blue. Yeah, solid play, Januzaj. Fantastic. Anichebe onto Lens. It must be a second here for Lens. Oh, so close. Again, saved by Ben Foster. He's prevented the scoreline from being 2 or 3-0 here. Januzaj is going to deliver into the box. Djilabodji's there, and can't really do too much of that header. A little bit disappointing in the end. Chadley looking for a cross here for West Brom. Overcommitted there with Manquillo. Cuts back in. Well, I knew it was going to happen. As soon as they attack, and I struggled to prevent Chadley from attacking, I just had a feeling it was going to happen. It's 1-1. Ugh, this is a nightmare. Right with the goal. 88th minute. They've equalised. Their second shot of the game has gone in. And yeah, they've managed to make it 1-1. Gutted. Not defended for long enough. Not kept our concentration. That's been the issue. We've been the better team, and we can always say that we've been the better team, but ultimately if you don't get the result, then, you know, what do you get? That's it. 1-1 it finishes. Disappointing to have conceded so late on in that match. Just didn't keep our concentration, didn't defend well enough. They actually had 3 shots in the game, not 2. But yeah, that's obviously gutting the way we conceded there, because you can see by the stats, we deserve to obviously get more out of that game. It's another 2 points dropped, and it's been happening a lot. Obviously, you know, half of us wants that to happen because we've had such a good start to the season. Half of us obviously wants to try and win games still. So I am a little bit in between moods, really, as to whether that's okay or not. But yeah, another draw in this match. Disappointing. Got a game against Charlton actually coming up next in the FA Cup. Wasn't anticipating that one arriving. But that's next week. That's a new fixture that they put on there for us. Which means we'll put out a weak team, I think, for that one, and then we'll go a little bit stronger, I think, for the game against Spurs. But we'll wait and see. I don't think we'll get to that in today's episode. I think we will just get on with some more transfers to end things off. And then we're not on track again. Which one is it this time? Yep, the reduced player wages, still not on track. And I don't think we will be on track, especially not after making this signing. Tom Heaton's going to join us here, 79 overall, 30 years old, joins us from Burnley. Quite happy with that signing, actually. I'm not too sure exactly how good he's going to be in game or anything like that. Not used him before. But I'm looking forward to trying him out, seeing how he gets on. 6'2", I think he is as well. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does for us. Stats-wise, looks pretty good. On to some player development, and we will see how we get on again this week with those 5 drills that we're doing at the moment. How are we going to do? Yes, some stats going up, but no change in overall at the moment. I think we will look to change them out maybe next episode. We are pretty much getting towards the end of today's episode now. But before we end today's episode, I'm just curious to see what you guys think about the Cesares deal. I want you to let me know in the comments below, should I sign on a pre-contract agreement or not? And who else should I try and sign as well? Who else would you like to see me sign? We have a decent amount of money to bring players in now. Try and make sure that obviously the suggestions are realistic to an extent. Obviously I know Yaya Toure still isn't that realistic. And also for positions that we need in the team as well, either now or come the end of the season. So I'll be really interested to hear your suggestions. And like I said, we've got a decent chunk of money to spend. £21 million, 77 grand a week on the wage budget as well. We can change those sort of things around if we need to. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going to end today's episode. Again, apologies that it's only been one game. We've simmed one as well. But it's mainly been transfers in today's episode. Next episode, it'll be more transfers, but we'll play the Charlton game. We'll play the game against Tottenham as well. So 2 matches to play, as well as the transfers next episode. Thank you all so much for watching today's episode. If we could try and hit 100 likes, I would really, really appreciate it. And if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.